Driving for taxi or private hire is just like running a business. So, on one hand, you have money coming in, that's your revenue, such as fares, incentive, tips. Then, on the other hand, you have money going out, that's your expenses, your cost. For example, your petrol cost, your rental, even depreciation of your car if you own the car, right? So, I believe there are already a lot of people out there on the internet that talking about this type of usual cost like petrol, vehicle rental, and that's not the topic for today. Now, in fact, in this episode of Talk Talk, what I'm going to discuss is the actual and real cost for driving as a living if you're a taxi driver or private hire driver. So stick around. Back in the days when I was driving Grab, I remember I was chasing the Grab incentive like crazy because I needed the money. So after my company wind down, I was in quite a lot of debt, and my family finances was in a big mess. So what's worse, my children is growing up, so I needed a lot of money. So in order to hit the maximum incentive, I have to drive as much as I could. I remember driving for at least 14 to 16 hours a day, every day, including Saturday, Sunday, and public holiday. Once per month, I might give myself 1 day rest, at most two, if the earnings are good that month. But that's the life I was at during that dark period. And it was not easy. People say time, you're using time to exchange your money. I think I totally agree. This is particularly true in our trade because the more you drive, the more you earn, right? If you slack or you stop driving, you stop earning. Is that simple? So driving 14 to 16 hours is in order to hit incentive in our trade is quite a norm, I would say. But more than that, beside time, I then realized that you're exchanging more than that. You're exchanging your health for money, and that's the worst part. Before driving, right, I was 62 kilograms, slightly overweight for my height, but still okay. 1.5 years in, I was my body ballooned, and it went up to 80 kilograms. Yeah, around there, 80 kilograms. So that was a drastic change in my body weight. It was a gradual change, and I can feel it lah, because because of my body weight, right, I tend to fall more often, right, fall down, which I don't usually. And also there's a lot of changes in my general health. Okay, things like food coma. I experienced, like, after a meal, brain fog, cannot think properly, cannot focus. Yeah, hypertension. I feel my blood pressure, going up and down. So I decided I have to do a blood test lah, the minimum. Actually, my spouse forced me to go lah, and that is when I was diagnosed with pre-diabetic. Yeah, is that the term for it? My sugar level was way high. I got fatty liver and hypertension. Yeah, they call it the 三高 lah, the 三高. So I got it. I got it. And my doctor actually said, right, wow, your risk of heart attack is too high already. I have to start you off with statin straight away. So I was in shock, like what? What's statin? I asked the doctor, how much is it, and is it long term? So he said, yes, you have to eat it long term, and statin cost around he quoted me, I think about $200 per month. I said, wow, siao already, I didn't have money to service my debt. Now there's additional cost to, service my body. Yeah, with this health thing suddenly strike me. I was thinking in my head, no way lah. This can't be the only way. And it kind of like stunned me, like what happened to me. Actually, frankly speaking, during that time, I was kind of like aware that there were changes in my body, but I totally ignore the symptoms lah, like food coma. I told you, um, hyperventilation, feeling tired constantly. All these symptoms I just ignore because I was too tunnel vision into getting my target hit every day. So I just ignore. And that come on hindsight, right? That was my biggest mistake. So immediately that day after the doctor visit, right, I told myself this has to stop. I need to stop and change. In fact, I need to take action immediately. So after the doctor visit, I went back home. I lie down on the bed, put my pillow high, think, look at the ceiling. I had to make a choice lah. Yeah, I can continue my lifestyle and put my family at risk. Right? Because come on lah, if you really kena stroke, if something happened to me, the one who suffer the most will be my wife, right? My kids. And I do not want to burden them anymore. So I made a choice. I need to change, right? And this is something that I can change, not with money, because I always tell myself, poor people has a poor way of doing things, right? Not to say it's not effective. It can work, right? Lazy people also got lazy way of doing things. I'm a lazy person. I don't go gym. I don't go work out. I hate exercises. Yeah, but I'm sure there's a way out. So I analyze, right? I love to eat lah. That's one of the problem is I have very sweet tooth, right? So but I don't look at diet alone because food is everything to me. So that's a big problem. Instead, right, of narrowing down on food, I look at my lifestyle, right, and see what I can change to make a impact on my health. So I see, okay, I like to eat supper. That's very bad. I like to eat sweet, processed, ultra processed food like potato chips, Nutella. I can eat my habit is I can finish up one bottle of Nutella by myself in 3 days, sometimes 2 days. Maybe because it's eating disorder. I don't know. I didn't go and find out. But yeah, I'm quite bad at that junk food. And I need to eat constantly junk food, to keep my, I don't know, dopamine high or my glucose, spike. I need to feel that. So that has to change, right? Supper has to change. And after meal I tend to just sleep lah. I don't do exercise at all, zero. Right? I used to joke with my mother-in-law, 有没有 exercise? Yeah, I do because they can see my changes growing fatter and fatter. I say, yeah, I do walk to the car park to my car. That's considered exercise already, which is obviously rubbish. So okay, so I list out these bad and unhealthy habits, and I change. I change immediately. I didn't procrastinate because I know if I procrastinate, it will get worse. And if it get worse and one day I have stroke, which I will if I ignore, my wife will suffer. And in fact that time, right, most of my insurance policies are cut off because of my debt. I needed the money, I told you, right? So it's not a good time to fall. It's not a good time, right? So I I remembered I did a lot of research. I started on keto diet, meaning lots and lots of protein and less carbo. So I immediately cut off my rice intake and wheat. Anything made of wheat, that means bread, noodles, and rice. For half a year, I stopped totally, That means I purely eat only proteins. A lot of fish, a lot of vegetables, right? Um I also stopped my unprocessed food intake. No potato chip, no Nutella, no chocolate, no candies, nothing of that kind. So for half a year, very, very strict keto, and I can see improvement. I think within 1 month, I can see my weight going down, and within like three months, I shaved off 10 kilo. So I was at 70, very happy, right? It was tough at first, but this kind of thing, this kind of cold turkey treatment is not my first time. I used to be a heavy smoker. So I also on cold turkey, it works for me, not for everybody, right? I'm not advocating this style of dieting, you know. No, this is not for everybody. But for me, it's quite extreme case because I was having a high risk of heart attack, and it's a bad time for me to get sick. So that's the urgent or emergency action that I took lah. And after 6 months, right, my weight actually went down to 69, almost 70. That is the time when I started to take back carbo, but on a controlled basis, meaning less rice. I will tell the auntie less rice. If they don't give me less rice, I just take like one third of the rice, right? Some noodle. I need to sustain this lifestyle, so I changed my lifestyle. Not only that, I totally stop my supper. So for example, if my dinner time is 7 o'clock, from 7 to the next day, zero food. Kosong, zero. Only water. That's what I did. And I only eat the next day 10 the earliest, right? Normally it's about 10:30, 11. That's when I break my fast. They call it intermittent fasting. So I tried intermittent fasting with keto, which worked for me lah. What else? Scratching, lower body. You know I'm lazy. I don't go gym. I still don't go gym. I don't exercise. So what I do is whenever I have a chance to get down my vehicle, I will. Right? If I see a lady going to board, I just open my door, walk around, open the door for her. The girl very happy say, "Wow, gentlemen! Actually, I just want to exercise." So if they need to carry the luggage in the boot, happy to help. Carry up, carry down. I just any excuse to come down and walk, right? And I do a lot of lower body squatting, deep squat, scratching my calf and all this, because I read somewhere lower body is actually very important, right? For especially for those who spend a lot of time sitting down, right? So these are the three things I did, which totally reversed my general health. Right now you can see, yeah, the from very 80 kilogram down to now about 68 kilogram, which I'm happy because it is sustainable. Yeah, I don't want to do it in a short burst, and give up, right? So I've been sustaining it for about 2 years already, and I have to carry on doing this. But the thing is, once you got a habit, right, everything become easy because your body get used to the routine already. I think what I'm trying to say is the real cost for driving for living, either as a taxi or private hire driver, is your health. And the real question to ask is how to find the right balance between time, money, and health, so that you can do this long term for an extended period of time. I really hope that you guys, if you are a driver, that you can find that balance, right? That you can do it long term. You have any comments on your journey that you'd like to share and I'm happy to hear it. So put it in the comments below. I hope you find this video um, valuable, and if it does, do give me a like or share, and I'll see you in my next video.